Welcome, everybody, to What's Cooking with Dr. Cook. I am Dr. Allison Koch, the editor of foodguides.com, a place where people with acid reflux, GERD, IBS, and those following the low FODMAP diet can get all of their food and nutrition information all in one place. And I am joined today by the wonderful Chef Lisa Green. Hello, Chef.
Hello, Allie. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm very well as well. Excited. It's
Fantastic.
been a while.
Oh,
It's been a
very
hot minute.
excited. Absolutely. I know. It's great to be back and cooking again. And we have a very fall-esque seasonal recipe today, which I'm
hmm
super excited about. It is stuffed acorn squash with pork, apples, and candied pecans. So,
hmm
yes. So this is my first time cooking with acorn squash.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not one that I utilize that often, but once I did the practice recipe, I was like, I need to use this more often. Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, everybody at home, if you're not familiar with an acorn squash, it looks like this. So,
hmm,
a lot of the times in previous fall-esque recipes that we've used butternut squash. And so I'm familiar with that. And then when I went to the store, I'm like, can you help me find an acorn squash? So I didn't know, but it
yeah.
literally does look like an acorn.
hmm
And and then I was informed that the best way to find if it's ready to go or not is if it's in fact like a deep green like this with a spot of orange. So
Oh,
like, okay, perfect. Well,
perfect.
that's what they have, and that's what I'll get. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
and nutritionally, a little powerhouse there too.
Yeah, most of the what are the winter squash is what they fall into, the acorn squash, the pumpkin, and a couple other ones, the Hubbard maybe I read too. So
Yeah, yeah, and very appropriate for the time of year because they're high in the vitamin A, they're high in the vitamin C, so the good old antioxidants that keep your immune
yes,
system up, all those really good
yes,
things that we like.
hmm
Also, a good source of dietary fiber and versatile. So, even though we're scooping them out today to stuff them, you can take the seeds and you can bake those up,
hmm
probably add the seasonings that you like. I'm definitely going to pick your brain about that when we're scooping those out here in a bit. But let's not forget our other wonderful ingredients too that we'll talk about here in a second. But um, this recipe that you designed is also super customizable. So
hmm
it's, something that you can adjust for your dietary preferences and
hmm
taste preferences.
Yep, yep. Because I know that ground pork is not one of your fortes. So ground chicken, ground turkey. I mean, those two would be really good with ground beef. I'm not quite sure, but
Right.
maybe on more of a savory note, maybe with some mushrooms and maybe, um, yeah, more of a beef based sort of
Yeah.
chili maybe would be good with it. But the turkey and the pork, the ingredients that we're using here, they go interchangeable.
Right. I was even thinking for somebody who was a vegan or a vegetarian that a quinoa would probably be a really good
Yeah,
choice.
quinoa would
Yeah.
too. Any sort of grain that kind of absorbs any flavor that you're
Mm.
looking for would definitely be even oatmeal. Some sort of oatmeal might
Yeah.
be good for breakfast or.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited to get into this. This is going to be really good. I did want to start by kind of explaining to the audience that there was one special ingredient that we did prep beforehand, and it's Lisa's fresh garlic blend. And
Yes.
this is a really cool substitute that Lisa created that takes the place of garlic. So for people who have, sensitivities to garlic, especially those following the low FODMAP diet,
Mhm.
this takes the place.
It
of,
does. It.
garlic substitute. And it contains celery, olive oil, and fennel seeds. So
Yep.
you can grab this recipe is actually in some of Chef Lisa's articles on the site, and it will be posted in this recipe when it goes live on foodguides.com.
Hmm.
But this is what it looks like. So we
Yep.
have this here, and you have it as well. And this recipe calls for a tablespoon of it. So to make it is super easy. So it is a cup of olive oil and a whole bunch of celery, which you
Celery,
chop
a
up.
bunch. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and a tablespoon of
So,
the fennel seeds.
yep. And then
Yes.
you just kind of saute it lightly. You don't want any color to it, and just kind of let that the fennel and the celery they all kind of steep together to get that flavor. And it ends up being like it's kind of like a pesto, is what I would describe it as, because once you puree it, but then once it's done, you can put this in ice cube trays and then pop it in the freezer. So you can just pop one out whenever you need one, because this is the best substitute I've ever. It gets that garlic bite that you might like if you're missing garlic and you're too sensitive. Your stomach is just not for garlic anymore. So it gets it that nice garlic bite. I mean, we've made this in a pesto,
Yeah,
and it was one of the best pestos, I think. So
delicious.
I
Yeah,
stand by this
absolutely.
this garlic substitute.
Definitely. It's delicious. It really can go in anything, and it does have that bite that you're looking for if
Mhm.
you can't tolerate garlic.
Yep.
So, there's
Yep.
hope out there for those who are looking for something to
Because
get
I
that
love
garlic bite
garlic,
back.
so
Yeah.
this was one of my main goals with working with food guides and the food guides community, to figure out something to bring that garlic flavor that I love into my recipes. So this is
Success.
what, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm,
The fresh
yes,
garlic blend.
the fresh garlic blend.
Well,
And
great.
don't be
Well, hey,
afraid if you don't like anise flavor. If you're afraid of the fennel, it doesn't. You don't get that flavor. That's like the bite that the garlic does.
right,
So you
right.
know.
Yeah. I mean, I love it, but I know exactly what you're saying. So, if you're kind of hesitant about the fennel flavor, that is not something that is coming through just really
Mm-mm.
pronounced when you
No,
taste this blend. It is
no.
more of just a garlic substitute where you just get
Hmm.
that bite that you would
Yep.
tasting garlic. So,
Yeah. Yep. And
yep.
of course, you want to add it to other things. Now, if you ate this right out of the jar, you're probably going to get the
Like on
fennel and
like
celery.
on a cracker.
Yes, but you
Yeah.
want it, blended with other ingredients. So,
Yes. Yep.
but
Well, great. Well, hey, let's
yeah.
get to it.
Hmm.
All right.
Ooh, the patchwork one.
Patchwork. Patchwork today.
Hmm.
Well, let's take everybody over to the wonderful ingredients. So, what are we looking at today? We've got some goodies here.
Yes, looks like
So
fall.
it does. Apples and everything. So step one is to preheat the oven to 375. So you want to do that while we're just running through these ingredients really quick. So for the
Hmm.
main recipe, you need 2 acorn squash and then 8 ounces of ground pork, or if you use a substitute like me, I decide to go with turkey because I'm just not a pork eater. 2 apples, Honeycrisp are recommended. 1 tablespoon of that fresh garlic blend. We have a half a cup of candied peanuts, or I'm sorry, candied pecans, which we will go through the process of talking about how to make that shortly.
Oh man, those look really good.
Oh, thank you. But they were
Like,
there's a let me tell you, there's a good batch and a bad batch here.
they're tricky
I
sometimes.
Well, it was my fault because let's just say I was like, oh, these are going to be done by an even hour, and then I don't need to set a timer. um, always set a timer, everybody.
Yes.
Um, 2 stalks of celery. We have salt and pepper, adjusted to your preferences if you can tolerate pepper. Nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, so all the flavors of fall,
Mm-hmm.
maple syrup,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe the recipe calls for lemon juice.
It does.
All right. So that is for the main recipe, which we are going to get into first. So the first part of the recipe involves the cutting of the acorn squash.
Yes.
So I've already cut
Which
one,
I
but
have
I'm going
already.
to cut a second. You've prepped up yours?
I have the acorn
Okay.
squash. I have.
I'm going to cut
But everything
one
else.
for everyone so they can see how this goes. Just the process of cutting it. I was actually pleasantly surprised how easy they were to cut.
They're definitely easier than, say, a butternut. I think.
I have to soften the butternut to be able to, cut that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yay.
Yay. Grab my seed bowl here. So once it's open, there we go. Look at all those wonderful seeds for roasting. What do you like to season your seeds with?
Oh goodness. I mean, usually the fall spices. But if you're looking for just like salt and pepper works out just fine too.
I like to do all
Some,
sorts.
yeah. Sometimes a
I find that
Cajun
a
would be nice.
grapefruit spoon works
Oh,
best
with
for getting
the,
them out.
I think it is,
Yeah,
but works just fine with those.
regulars too, but if you have a grapefruit spoon, just get it done.
Yeah.
All right, so scoop in. Probably could have done a little bit of a better job with the cutting, because I feel like I have 2 deep acorn squashes and 2 mini ones, but I guess those
Oh.
the deep one will be for Alex, my husband, and the mini ones will be
Yeah.
my portion.
Yeah. That's why they make them. That's, balance. Can't be all the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to start dicing up some of the apples and celery.
Okay. If anybody is watching and they have any recommendations for a really good pumpkin seed
Acorn
herb or
squash
spice
seed.
recommendation, let us know. We would love to
Yes.
experiment.
But it's like a chocolate caramel, some sort of dessert. Like a brittle. I wonder how brittle would be.
That sounds awesome. I'll experiment and then I'll post what I end up doing.
There you go.
To our Food Guide socials at Food Guides Help on Twitter, Instagram. I'm sorry, X, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, there's my seeds. That's a lot of seeds for that
It is a
little
lot of seeds.
squash. All right, cool. So now we poke them with a fork.
Yep.
So are you doing 4 or are you doing 2?
I just did one squash because it's just me.
Okay. Because I was like, I am having trouble finding some pans that are going to hold like all 4, so I have to do 2 pans.
Oh, I got you.
All right. So throwing them in here, and then it's salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, if you haven't noticed, this is a new grinder, so it's not throwing peppercorns all over the food now.
That is a beautiful grinder.
Yay. Okay. So those have been salted and peppered. And then these, salt and peppered. All right. And then these go into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to throw these in. And we can get to prepping. Okay. The next part here is
I think I lost
dicing the apples.
dicing the apples.
All right. Now, how small should they be?
I mean, I did about like a quarter, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And celery,
Cool.
about the same. I love chopping vegetables.
You probably got some chopping skills.
A little bit. All right, so I think it said do the pork first. And then set that aside. Do the celery with the pork, and then the apples will be separate.
Okay.
Apples will make like a caramelization.
You know what the great thing is too is that these wonderful apples are all so high in vitamin A.
Yes. Yes, they are.
So this whole meal is like eye health heaven.
Oh, my dog
Well,
called the
vitamin C.
Yes.
Vitamin C. So we are like very, very, very happy with these wonderful vitamins. Plus the fiber.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fiber. Doesn't it have both?
Oh yeah, insoluble and soluble.
Yeah.
So get to lower that cholesterol and move your bowels. Keeps your gut healthy. So it feeds your healthy
Yes.
bacteria in your gut.
All right, so I got the pork going with the celery. Beautiful. You know, celery and apples go really well together.
I agree. I have already pre-washed my vegetables and fruit for all those at home who are wondering.
That's going to be a good salad. A celery and apple salad.
Yeah, isn't that what is that? The Waldorf salad?
I don't know. Is that?
Isn't that what's in it?
I really don't know.
Doesn't it
Honestly.
have like the nuts, the celery, the apples, and I think it has mayonnaise in it too, doesn't it?
It all sounds familiar, but I know the salad, but yeah, you got to be right actually, because I don't. It's not one of those ones I guess really ate that much of. I got my little helper here. Her name's Greta. Anything that falls on the
Hey.
floor, it's hers.
Hi, girl.
She's
Okay.
like, "Ooh, is that celery?"
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking it to the pans now, right? All right.
Yes, the apple's not. Apples you caramelize separately. Just the celery and
Okay.
the.
So,
Oh, okay. I know what happened. You can do the however. So
so
while the
it's the
questions.
celery and the garlic substitute in one pan first with olive oil.
I actually had there was celery in the main recipe as well, but it'll be all right. Medium high heat and once warm, add the celery. There was two different. I didn't add the celery in the main recipe in the ingredients for the garlic substitute. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. So I don't need the celery.
What? You do. You have the celery, right? Okay, you do have
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But it's just the celery and the pork, not the apple.
I have the celery, the turkey, and
Yes.
the apples. So
Yes, but the apples we saute separately.
right. So right now, what do I cook in the first pan?
The celery and the um meat,
Okay.
right? Is that what you have?
Yeah. Yeah, which
Okay.
do I do them together?
The celery and the turkey, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I looked at your cutting board and I saw the apples.
Yeah. Do I do the celery and the turkey with olive oil or no?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And I cut my celery too big, so I'm going to chop that up a little.
Okay. I don't think I've ever
And then a
cooked
little.
meat with vegetables at the same time. This will be new.
Yeah, I did the celery first, and then I put the meat in, but it's really not.
Okay. There's that.
I'm going
Okay.
to put this aside. And well, first I'm going to put the garlic, blend it in as well. That goes in with that as well. The meat. Right.
Okay.
It's been like a month and a half. Squash with that.
And we're adding brown sugar, spices, and lemon juice into the other pan.
Yes.
Okay. How much brown sugar and spices?
Cinnamon, nutmeg. So for that. That would be for the apples. We're gonna do a tablespoon.
Tablespoon of the spices?
Brown sugar.
Okay. And just add it to the pan right now. Okay. Spoon. And get a quarter cup of the lemon juice.
Yep, so I'm just gonna transfer this into a bowl. And then do the apples.
Don't usually buy turkey in a squeeze bag.
I'm gonna do.
I wanted to make it look like pork sausage, like,
That's
So
funny.
y'all forgive me.
You're forgiven.
It's a little over here. Ugh.
All right, I'm gonna get my candied pecans going. That's great. Mm. All right, let's go in. That. Oh, stop it.
Oh my. I thought it was a good idea. Like, this will look more like pork sausage, right? Or ground pork. Seemed like a good idea.
Oh. Food is, nothing's going to end up being the exact same regardless of, we could be standing next to each other and cooking with the exact same ingredients, exact same recipe, and it's still going to wind up a little different.
Well, I was trying to keep the cost down for this because the store I was at was completely out of allspice. And so I had to buy the organic spice for allspice, which was $4 more.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is that?
That's one of those things, that's one of those spices that if it boils down to that, omit it.
Well, and also one thing that I was learning about allspice, which I think is kind of interesting for, those with, GERD or acid reflux listening, is that you have to look at it too, because sometimes allspice contains black pepper.
Oh.
And that was something that I learned because I was like, okay, some of the pumpkin spice drinks that people get has allspice in it. And so,
yeah.
What are the different reasons why pumpkin spice lattes can trigger reflux? Well, caffeine, perhaps the high fat content in the milk, or, because typically a lot of the, fall spices are friendly.
Yes.
But also allspice can sometimes have black pepper. So
good to know.
Yeah. But this particular organic one I have does not contain black pepper. So I was like, score. How much of the nutmeg, cinnamon, and wait. Yes. How much?
Like a teaspoon. A quarter teaspoon of each.
Okay. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, almond,
No, I would do
allspice.
1/8 of nutmeg. I would do 1/8 of nutmeg, 1/8 of allspice.
Okay.
And then cinnamon, you can do like a whole teaspoon. But those two, the allspice and nutmeg, they're more powerful. So. Oh, I'm looking forward to the squash.
Did you say a whole teaspoon of cinnamon?
You can do a whole teaspoon of cinnamon, yeah.
Okay.
I sure did. And look, they look like little hearts.
Oh, adorable. Yeah, I need to take mine out of the oven. Okay, so that means 8 of these because it's 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Yes. Hi, Bear.
And what heat should I put this on?
The meat?
The cinnamon apple mixture.
Oh, hi.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Hi on both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm actually doing something different than I did with the first round, so I'm not going to say what I'm doing because I don't want to confuse people. Or confuse anybody. I didn't mean to come out insensitive. Because cooking for me is like, I always try different. It's not that I didn't like the first technique. It was just, this is the first time I've made this in a while. So, you kind of.
I'm going to drain this before I put the garlic blend in, right?
If you think there's an excess fat in it, yes.
There's excess water. Look at that.
From the celery?
No, see the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely drain that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, I'm going to do that. I got to pull out my squash first. All right. Pull these out. Okay, should I put my apples in?
Yes.
All right. Ooh, splatter. Okay, apples are in.
My nuts are in. These are almost done. So what I basically did is I just added the pork to my apple mixture because I had a lot of excess liquid in it. Just trying to get that same seasoning throughout the pork. It wasn't a step that I did in the recipe, and I don't think it's like make or break it. It was just something that I decided to do.
Okay, cool.
And then it's getting all.
All right, these look good.
My stomach is growling. I'm so hungry right now.
No,
Everything smells so good. So good.
Oh, yeah. Muy delicioso.
Sí, por supuesto.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's how Lisa and I met. Spanish class.
Senior Quick. Sophomore year. Circa 1997? 96?
96.
98? 96?
96.
Yeah, 96. I'll say stuff
All right,
to some people sometimes.
They're like, what?
I'll
So
say, yeah, I'll be like,
fresh
I'll
garlic.
just listen to that song in
Yeah.
1997. They're like, I wasn't even born yet. I'm like, ha ha
Must be nice.
ha. And we were those kids. We were like, ha, we weren't even born yet. Ha ha ha.
Love it.
No, but you know,
I know. We
I
were.
I would never go back. I am perfectly happy. I would never go back to being a teenager. Would you?
Same.
Would you relive your youth, Allie?
No. I mean,
I know.
it was fun.
It was fun.
I'm happy though.
Yeah, exactly. Same. It was fun.
I'm happy I get to eat this stuffed acorn squash. I
Yes.
mean,
All right.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna be making these apples like again though. I'm gonna be putting these on some oatmeal,
Yes.
no doubt.
All right. So I do have extra filling because I only used one squash. But
Okay, so should I just combine these together then?
yes. Yes, you should. It seems to be yep.
The better method? All right.
Yes.
All right. So
I got my
here we go. All right. So there we go. We got meat. I'm trying to find places.
Beautiful.
Okay. I'm going to put those here. Put all this together. This smells so good.
Yep. Now it only really needs to go back in the oven.
So pretty. How long do they go? Back in the oven for?
It says 10 to 15 minutes, but I would say 10.
Okay. Cool. Then we can talk about the candied pecan process.
Yes.
Let me Yo, those are still hot. Okay. Get my dishes back over here. And bring you all back over so we can stuff. We're going to stuff these. Okay. I'm not missing any ingredients, right? No, I'm not.
No?
Oh, wait, the maple syrup.
Oh. Yes, just put that in at the end with the ingredients.
Okay. So I'm going to stir in I almost forgot my tablespoon of maple syrup. Perfect.
I gotta stop munching.
Okay. Now we are ready to start. Oh, I have a little fallen off the sides here.
That's all right.
That's okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That's what mine looks like.
Gorgeous. All right. Here we go. Ooh, this, huh? Okay. Yes, this is delightful. It's so colorful. I'm just trying to stuff all of mine in. There. Come on. Ooh, I think I can do it. Hey, there we go. Haha. I did it. They've been stuffed. Now they go back in the oven for 10 minutes. I'm going to throw these back in. Okay. There we go. Now, the candied nuts. I will share with you all how to not have this happen.
But it's
And
very
plus,
easy to do
maybe with
that.
some tips. Yeah, so one of my big questions from you is can let me bring it up. Can you use parchment paper?
I've used it before. It ends up sticking.
Okay. Okay, so a grease pan is the way to go. So really the whole thing is to not to let them burn.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, and I think these ones I did for maybe 6 minutes, and it's all relative to like the air. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the same batch, the same exact ingredients will take 5 minutes one day, and they'll take 8 minutes the next day. So,
Okay. All right.
but
Well,
I burned my fair share. So,
well, I'm going to run through making just another set of ingredients for everyone real quick.
as I'm munching on mine.
Yeah, did we put ours in at the same time?
What, the squash? I
Mhm.
was 3 minutes ahead of you.
Oh, good. Okay. You just holler at me when yours come out.
I will.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna bring everybody back down. I'm gonna show you the bowl. Um, so like, did I have a little? Oh, I used my little bowl. I'll use another little bowl. So when it comes to making candied pecans, really simple. So you can, Chef Lisa actually has a recipe for spiced candied nuts as well, on the recipe for the beet salad. So the
Yes.
arugula beet salad. So on foodguides.com. But for tonight, I actually just made candied pecans without the spice. And it was pecans, brown sugar, cinnamon, and 1 egg white. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a half a cup of brown sugar. Where? Oh, there you are. I'm like, where are my measuring cups?
Oh, I was laughing at my dog too. Come here, Bear Bear.
Okay.
Come here. Want to say hi? Want to say hi? No, no, no. She's my little rescue. We're going on 2.5 years together. Yeah, 2.5 years, aren't we, little
Oh,
one? She it was when I first left. First moved out and into an apartment after Jeff and
oh,
I. But
yeah.
she when I saw her at the Calhoun Animal Shelter, she kind of came in and wiggled her butt, and I said, "Okay, what do I got to
Yep.
do?" And
I'm
she ran
yours.
into the apartment like she'd known it for years and slept for 3 days in the bed.
Oh,
Yep, No,
She's
she's my
home.
bear. I mean, she's a little finicky. Like if she doesn't like you, she'll shh. She's really skittish around people at first, so she acts
Oh.
all big and bad. So
What a
I can't wait for
cutie.
you to meet her. I know that I
I
know.
can't wait to
Well,
meet her.
yeah, she's a German Shorthair mixed with a Australian Blue Heeler.
Oh,
So she's super smart, super stubborn.
cute.
Yeah, she was just looking at the pecans. So back to food. Sorry, everyone.
It's
Little
all
dog
good.
tangent.
Well, I've got my half a cup of brown sugar. I used, just for everybody who was like watching, I used a third of a cup measuring spoon because I'm running out of measuring cups with this recipe. So if you saw me like put a couple in there, that's why I was measuring a different way. And I also just have a quarter teaspoon left for fresh spoons. So it calls for a half a cup of brown sugar and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. That's why I got to do 4 here. And then a half a cup of pecans.
Mm-hmm. And I know it seems like a lot of sugar for the pecan, but you're really looking for a candy crunch. You're looking for candied pecans, not just late. It makes it into that candy shell.
Oh, yeah.
And then the egg white, what it does is it acts as a binder, and it gives it that like nougat fluffy sort of. I don't know what you would call it, but
Oh yeah, yeah, and you have to whip it good.
yes, whip it good, whip it real good.
So it's 1 egg white.
Which you
Oh,
want to mix separately. Woo,
oh,
ta-da! Good job.
hey, look at that. Oh, get out there. Look, my skills are improving.
Yay! Now you can always save that egg yolk for
Oops.
breakfast in the morning, a treat for your furry friends, cat or dog,
Huh.
or you can throw it away.
Yeah.
Which I think I threw away mine.
All right. I'm out of whisks, so fork will do.
Yes, it will.
And we're gonna try to get a bunch of air in there.
Yep, that's what. Eggs are an amazing food. They really are.
Oh, they're great. Protein, vitamins. Oh, I see the little bubbles
Yes,
getting that
the
air.
bubbles.
Although, how long do you typically like whip yours for?
Until they are frothy.
What do you consider
So,
frothy?
we'll see. Like frothy. And not quite frothy.
All right.
You want it to be pretty much all white. You might have to actually, unless you're gonna, this,
Yeah,
it might
no, I'm
be,
not baking them right now. I better wait. So,
yeah. Yeah, you might
so
want to change
anyways,
bowls, but
and
that's
then
the concept.
refroth. So when
Yes.
you're done whipping this, you will put it into the bowl and coat
And you kind of
them.
fold. Yep.
Yeah. And then spread them onto a greased baking sheet. And then they go in for 425 at 425 degrees for 7 to 15 minutes. And
Correct.
I emphasize this. Do not put them in. Oh wait. Do not put them in for more than 15 minutes because they come out a little dark and ominous.
Yep.
Yeah, but I kept them anyway because I wasn't sure if my husband would eat them or not. So
I mean, if they don't
uh,
taste burnt, then they're fine.
I don't know. I'm not risking it, so we'll let them see.
All right, so
All
your
right.
squash could probably come out of the oven.
Yay! All
So I got my
right.
squash out.
Cool. So back y'all go as I bring the deliciousness out.
Yes. I'm so excited right now. Like I even cut mine in, or like
425.
get a little happiness and got the nuts on there and everything, which I like the way this turned out better than I don't know if I ever sent you the pictures, but I meant to. Of the butternut squash dish.
I don't think so.
I have a bunch of pictures of them, but
Oh. Ooh, that did brown well. That's so nice. Okay. The others.
so what I did with the leftover squash from my practice round and the turkey meatloaf and like I think it was a soup, the turmeric and apple and sweet potato soup. I turned all three of them into like this amazing soup.
Oh, wow.
It was so good. Because you had the chunks of the turkey and the chunks of the pork, and then the acorn, and then the apples and the sweet potato, and it turned out really good. Because I live by myself, and it's only so much food I can eat. So, but yeah, I made it into a soup. And there's only so much times you can eat the same thing too. Like I like having leftovers, but after the third time eating it, I'm like, okay, we gotta turn this into something else.
Something else.
So, but it turned out fantastic.
Well, if my spouse is home and wants to try this, he's welcome to come down and grab a plate.
I am getting my bite already, but I'm waiting. So
I got to put my candied pecans on. Ooh.
I got a nut on it. I got a candied pecan. I have some meat and some apple and celery and the squash. And I'm waiting patiently.
Oh my gosh. I know.
Patience is a virtue.
I'm coming. I just got it ready.
Please hurry.
Plus, I heard the rumblings of a spouse. I'm coming.
Oh, your spouse? Is he like, oh, I'm hungry?
Yeah, you can.
There he is. Hi.
All right. So, just everybody, look.
I got my bite already, girl.
All right. Got some squash, meat, apples, pecan. All right. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Cheers. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I told you.
That's so good. Oh,
It gets all your taste buds, but not in a like guilty. It's so healthy and it's so. I mean, yeah, you have some sugar in it. Yeah, you have some fat. Like you need all that. I mean, it's
wow.
and the squash
Wow.
itself has such a good flavor. Like, because we don't penetrate with a lot of seasoning in this squash. We really didn't. This is really the flavor of the acorn squash.
Yeah. Like Alex says, this is the perfect fall dish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is amazing. And thank you for introducing me to the acorn squash as well.
Oh, you are very welcome. I'm glad I
Hmm.
reintroduced my because it has so much flavor to it.
Hmm. As you
Because
can see, I can't stop eating it.
I know that's why when you're like, all right, we're back. What recipes? I was like, oh, acorn squash for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
is so, it's like I knew it was going to be good, but this has surprised me in a way where like the the sweet and the savory and I mean I know you say it has fat, but I also made it with like the turkey, and even with the pork it
yeah.
probably isn't that
No, it
high.
really isn't. No.
It's just like this is really good. Really, really good.
Really good. With
Yeah.
really not a lot of
Wow.
ingredients, and you can omit some of them. You don't need the pecans on it. You don't need
Mhm.
the candied pecans. That's just
Mhm.
flair, you know.
Mhm. That's a really good point because I mean, like the candy pecans are good, but I keep
Oh
taking
yeah.
bites, without them. I mean, they're great.
Hmm.
Um,
But
but yeah,
they're
I
definitely
mean,
not a necessity.
right, 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 right. This is a
So
fantastic recipe. Well done, chef.
thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Uh, well, this is great. For all of you who are watching and who will be watching in the future, you can look forward to this recipe on foodguides.com. Watch for it on the homepage, watch for it on Lisa's contributor page. So if you go to foodguides.com, go to contributors, go to Lisa Green, and look at all of her amazing recipes. This one, again, is customizable in so many different ways.
Hmm.
I had it tonight with ground turkey, and it's fantastic. So, and if you are a pork lover, that is what the original recipe calls for. And if you're a vegetarian, oatmeal, quinoa, I mean, the possibilities are really
Hmm.
endless because it really just soaks up all the different flavors of fall. It's
Hmm.
delicious. Highly recommend it. Highly.
Oh, I'm on like a food like food buzz.
I know. Me too. I can't wait to just dive into this.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chef. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will be back here soon with another wonderful
Yes.
recipe.
Couple weeks.
Yes.
Bye.
Yay.
Thank you.
Bye.